In our first scenario, Seamless Design and Associates assigns Sean, a junior architect, the task of working in the field with Precision Builders and their construction manager, Elroy. Seamless Designs feels that sending Sean, who has only one other project and 3 years of experience out of college, will streamline the construction process, reducing wait times and costs in the event of an issue. The first question of Scenario 8, Part 1, is how do you communicate to the client that an on-site designer will help speed up the process, even though the cost will go above budget projections? The initial cost of having a designer on board may cause the owner to extend their budget. However, the savings of hiring a professional can decrease that budget in the long run. A designer's expertise can help to provide timely answers and constructive solutions to issues that arise on site due to unforeseen construction issues. Requests for information, change orders, and other design information can be streamlined and problems can be fixed in person rather than waiting for the architect to visit the site. This will save both time and money throughout the duration of the project. And having a designer on board to specify materials, equipment, furniture in the early phases allows the contractor to order and purchase materials so that they are on hand and ready for installation when the schedule calls for these items, thus preventing delays. Delays in construction schedule equal dollars spent. The longer the schedule stretches out, the more interest is incurred, and it often can mean clients are extending leases and payments to maintain current locations in line of being able to move into their permanent facilities. The second question of Scenario 8, Part 1, is what considerations should you take into account when selecting a contractor? First, is the GC licensed and insured? Second, how long has he been in the industry and what is his reputation? Third, can the GC handle your job in a timely manner based on his current load? Fourth, does your company have the cash flow to take on your project? 5. What other jobs has the GC done that are similar in time, size, and scope? 6. Do you have enough field personnel to support this large of a project? 7. What are his relationships with local subcontractors? And 8. Does the project of this size have the ability to have financial backing? The third question of Scenario 8, Part 1, is does Sean's time on site and ability to coordinate with the contractor justify his time and expense? This is a case-by-case scenario. It is in this particular project, the time on site and ability to coordinate with the contractor does not justify his expense. Sean only has 3 years of experience. Sean serves more as a liaison between general contractor and the architect. This does not justify to pay an additional amount for an on-site representative from the architecture firm. However, having him on site may benefit the overall tight schedule of the project. The contract of this project was initially executed as a design bid build. The drawing should already be completed at the time of this project is ready to open for bid. For a project of this size, a well-experienced architect should be on site and readily available to help and answer any questions in regards to the construction process. In our second scenario, Precision Builders and Seamless Design are working together in the design assist process to write the scope and specifications for the main staircase for the project. The staircase is a crucial element of design for the construction of the building. In this scenario, Sean, the junior architect mentioned in the last scenario, writes a scope for the staircase and then works with Lena, the project manager for Precision Builders, to write the specifications for the stair. The first question of Scenario 8, Part 2 is who's to blame for the steel being larger than specified? Ultimately, we believe Sean and Lena are responsible for the staircase issue. Sean was in charge of the scope of work, and both Sean and Lena were in charge of the specifications for the staircase. Sean should not have been in charge of the scope of work and specifications for this customized staircase because he only has 3 years of experience and is still trying to gain knowledge in the field. Likewise, Lena was working for a similar general contractor and the company's portfolio would not feature something as custom as the staircase. Merrill, the structural engineer, should have been consulted for the scope of work and specifications because Merrill is the one with knowledge about the steel members required to support the staircase, which ultimately ended up being too large and affected the MEP space. The second question for Part 2 of Scenario 8 is what are best practices for dealing with the technical issues that exceed the expertise of the core members of the design team. We believe that if the core members of the design team were unable to resolve the issue, that the team should have sought guidance from a third party who has more experience or consulted with the principal in charge, architect, Elise.